Our politically charged investigation exposed police and prosecutors abusing their power, even lying in protest cases.
But a new bill at the state capitol aims to give them even more power to punish protesters. A group of religious and community organizers joining together today to denounce House Bill 2309. It would allow officials to take some misdemeanor crimes like obstructing a road and make them felonies if police declare a, quote, violent or disorderly assembly.
The problem, community leaders say, is that police and prosecutors can't be trusted.
HB 2309 is also a direct assault on black and brown Arizonans who have long demanded they be allowed to simply live their lives free from police violence and prosecutor overreach.
And that brings us to a new and unique chapter in our politically charged investigation. You're about to hear from an original member of the Chicago 7, a group of community activists politically prosecuted for protesting way back in 1968.
Their story made national news and was just highlighted in a Netflix movie that won a Golden Globe Award. So why is this relevant now? It is often said history repeats itself, and some say that is what's happening in Phoenix. ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing finding disturbing similarities to the Chicago 7 case. We do want to note our investigation has had a major impact, and this interview was conducted before many of those developments.
They're in for a horrible time.
Lee Weiner won't sugarcoat what this group of protesters faces after being charged as a criminal street gang.
Are saying that, look, we're going to punish people. And so you damn well stay off of our streets. They wanted to demonstrate that they control the streets, they control your life.
Weiner lived the experience 52 years ago during a famous high-profile case, again made famous when Netflix released the 2020 film, The Trial of the Chicago 7. At the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, there were protests and riots. Police violently clashed with people.
Are they about to conquer Spain?
Months later, President Richard Nixon was elected.
Do you have contempt for your government?
His Department of Justice, under a law and order campaign, indiscriminately charged 7 activists, claiming they worked together to spark riots. The conspiracy to riot case was politically charged
For a confrontation with the police
and called a political prosecution. In the Netflix movie released last year under the backdrop of national police protests and President Trump's similar rally cries of law and order.
Months ago in
You can see the character who plays Lee Weiner here. Lee says the movie, while not 100% factually accurate, damn close to accurately reflecting the tone, feel, and nature of what happened.
This is it. It's time.
We're not rushing the police.
The movie did the work. It told and showed that people can and should resist injustice. Back in those days, the police believed it was they controlled it was their streets.
You know, it's amazing that you said that, because I'm going to read you the last statement I got from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, right? Here's how they close it. MCAO, the County Attorney's Office, is committed to protecting the safety of everyone in this community, law enforcement and demonstrators alike. While we fully support the rights of everyone to exercise their First Amendment rights, we will not allow violence to take over our streets. Our streets.
Yeah. Love that possessive pronoun.
Compared to what happened in 1968 or throughout America last year, Lee laughs at the gang charges based on video and interviews we sent him.
These folks in Arizona did not fight back. Where on the streets in Chicago, we fought back. I was stunned, actually, by the lack of resistance.
Our investigation discovered the group charged as a criminal street gang because of 3 things. 1, prosecutors claim they dressed the same by wearing mostly black. 2, most carried umbrellas. And 3, they chanted the phrase, "All cops are bastards." Community and legal groups are furious about the charges. They say it's clearly designed to silence dissent.
You know, there's some things that I'm seeing now that you guys dealt with then that I think is just interesting. I kind of want to go through some of the interesting similarities. You know, I read in your book, and back then you talked about how you and others, I mean, you were essentially surveilled, and people took, you know, police and law enforcement took your picture. They gathered intelligence on your stuff. I mean, we're seeing that now. So there was one part of your book that I thought was really interesting. And that is you guys get booked into jail. They shave your heads. And then the sheriff shows your hair to political donors as like a trophy.
Yep.
Well, we're seeing now that some of the main officers for Phoenix PD who respond and handle these protest responses, they created a little trophy themselves, a little challenge coin when they shot a guy in the nuts. And I just think that it's just really interesting, kind of like, oh no, we're neutral, we're just trying to keep control, but yet then they're celebrating what they've done. They got your hair. They got this guy's dignity, right? I mean,
it's tribal. It is primitive and tribal.
In a previous report, we revealed after this man was shot by Phoenix police in the groin during a protest in 2017, officers in the Tactical Response Unit celebrated by making a challenge coin to share and sell.
Trophies probably is the right word. Is something that it's part of their culture.
Were you hoping for a confrontation with the police?
Most of the Chicago 7 were convicted at trial. Those convictions overturned on appeal. Historically, few consider what happened in 1968 as anything but a political trial with a political prosecution in a politically charged environment.
Give me a moment, would you, friend? I've never been on trial for my thoughts before.
And here's Lee's take when we read him another statement from the Maricopa County Attorney's Office denying that's the case here and now with the gang charges.
this office does not condone or support political prosecution of any kind.
Yeah. And the trial in '68 wasn't a political trial either. They also said the umbrellas were a dangerous weapon. I mean, it's a farce. It would be a farce if it wasn't so dangerous and troublemaking and hurtful to the people thereafter.
I'm investigator Dave Biscovic, ABC 15, Arizona.
Because of our politically charged investigation, the gang charges against the group were dropped, and more than a dozen police and prosecutors are currently under internal and outside investigations. You can watch all of Dave's past reporting right now at abc15.com/protest.